special live edition of Talk Local to Me. I am Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, and I do not have my partner in crime, Mike Norfield, here with me today. He apparently had other things to do, and he left me. But I do have my producer, Woody Watts, here with me.
Hey, I'm here.
And we are coming live at the Community Giving Fair / our Coffee Talk event here at Legacy Auditorium. And we have had, probably for the last 2 hours, we've had people coming in and out and talking to different nonprofits in our area. And so we wanted to kind of just do a quick live stream to let people know, who we have here, nonprofits that you can support in our community, and kind of what their needs are, because we're going into the last half of the year, and there are Giving Tuesdays coming up, and I mean, it just doesn't have to be on Giving Tuesday. It could be giving every day of the week is what we should be calling it. So people are looking for everything from monetary to donations to volunteering, and we're going to find out a little bit about that today. So just to kick us off, though, I have Jessica Clarkson with me with Member One Federal Credit Union, and they are sponsors of today's event, and we're very appreciative to them. And I want to kind of talk with them a little bit because, you think, okay, Member One Federal Credit Union, it's a credit union, but they don't realize that you guys have a big piece. Y'all do a lot with nonprofit organizations as well. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about, Member One, and then, what you guys do to support our nonprofits in the area.
Sure. So Member One, being a credit unions are based on people helping people. So community impact is very important to us. We have a community impact team. We have a +1 credit card where a portion of the proceeds go to local nonprofits. Mm-hmm. Last year, I think on Giving Tuesday, we gave about $20,000 out. This year, we're hoping to give about $25,000 to $30,000
That's amazing.
out to local nonprofits. So it's very important to us. So this is a good fit for us to be here today.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's great to see. And I think a lot of people don't realize, because credit unions, people think, oh, it's like a bank. But you're not like a bank. You're not a bank. You are, y'all are a nonprofit itself, right?
We're a not-for-profit.
Not-for-profit,
yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Great. So, but it's definitely a difference there, and it's great to see organizations like yours that do give back to the community. Now, Member One also does your regular, you can go in and get that personal checking and savings and banking done there too. So I just want to chat a little bit about that, because we want to make sure we recognize what y'all do.
Yeah, so we offer all the same products and services that a bank would offer. What's nice about us is we are local. We're headquartered in Roanoke. If you call our 800 number, you're just calling Roanoke, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And we do focus so much on giving back to our communities. We still qualify our members based on where they live, work, worship in our areas. And one thing that's important to us is financial education. So we offer our partner companies and our communities free financial education to really help the member get to a better place in their lives. We kind of take that extra step to make sure that they're healthy financially.
And I think that's so important too, because even in going into even looking at nonprofits, a lot of nonprofits get started, but they're not really sure where to go once they kind of get the idea. And so I think being able to have someone they can come and talk to about that is really important.
Right. And that's where we want to be there for our partner companies, our nonprofits. We have over 12 seminars we offer in person, virtually. They're all on our website, because that education component is so important to us.
Great. Thank you for being here with us today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sponsoring the event. And where are your locations, and where can people go if they want to come check it out?
So we're located all over Central and Southwest Virginia. You can follow us on social media at Member One FCU. You can go to our website, www.member1fcu.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
So we also we're going to kind of get started on our nonprofit side. And we're going to be speaking with Kelly with Agape Lynchburg. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for having us.
Now, tell us a little bit about Agape. I feel like you guys do a lot of different things, and there's a lot of needs that you guys have. I was looking over your list of things that people can donate, and it's a if you can't find something on the list, obviously you're not looking hard enough. So tell us a little bit more.
Well, the Agape Center is an organization that tries to help serve the underserved in our community. And we offer many different services. The one that's close to our heart is the mentoring. Each client who comes to receive the physical products that we serve also sits down with a mentor one-on-one. And it's a time they can just share whatever is on their heart, what's going on in their life. And the mentor can be an encouragement, offer for, some advice. We're not counselors. We're not trying to solve all their problems or anything, but it's a time that they can come and be heard, and that's what we hear a lot from them. And but we also offer physical services, support with tangible items such as food, clothing, housewares, hygiene and cleaning products, and also some furniture as well.
And I know that y'all also have a need for volunteers. So tell us kind of what that looks like and how people can volunteer at Agape.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for more volunteers. We are open 2 days a week, and we need help in each of those areas that I previously mentioned to help just hand out those items, help the clients as they shop. And also, we're looking for more mentors. Now, we're a little more specific with who our mentors are, and as you can imagine. But both volunteers and mentors can go to our website, which is agapelyh.org, and they can see what those different areas are about and how they can volunteer and how they can apply to become a mentor as well.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, thank you for coming on with us today and sharing about Agape. And, I know that you guys are members of our organization, and so we really appreciate that. And I'm going to let you get back to your booth because I actually see some people walking up. So
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're just getting started talking with some of our nonprofits in the area. Want to make sure you kind of hang in there, listen to all the different ones that we have. Next up, we are going to be talking with Heather. I believe it's Heather from Harmony Day Support. And then we're going to be speaking with Jacob with Patrick Henry Family Services. And I'm going to get started with Heather. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Nothing like throwing a set of headphones on me, just being like, hey, what's up?
Hey, a new experience. I like it.
So tell us a little bit about Harmony Day Support and what you guys do in the community.
Sure. So we are a nonprofit organization that serves adults and adolescents with ID and DD, so intellectual disability or developmental disability.
Okay. And what are some of those services that you guys do provide? Because I know y'all do quite a bit.
We do. So on any given day, we can do educational programming. We can do art therapy. We use a lot of music. We teach them how to do like culinary type stuff, provide support while they make their own meals. And then we are big on community engagement. So we like to get out in the community. We like to do fun stuff, like we go to Sequest and different places, but we also volunteer with Salvation Army, Meals on Wheels, and do a lot of community outreach.
Wonderful.
So.
I know that in the past, and I used to have an office in the building Harmony used to be in years ago over off of Mill Ridge Road, and we would have some of those that came to Harmony Day Support would come in and help us stuff bags and things. And it was such a joy to watch them being involved and seeing the pride they had in being able to help. And
Absolutely.
I think that's so wonderful.
Yeah, they we provide support, but they do all the amazing things themselves, and it really is a blessing to be able to watch them thrive and grow in the community for sure.
So what are some of the needs that you guys have from the community, aside from, of course, monetary, but what else do you guys look for?
Sure. So we're in the process of starting a big capital campaign where we're going to be building a new state-of-the-art center and some residential buildings. So we are just really awareness in our community, getting our name out there, as well as, volunteer work. We love for people to come over and just, do an art and craft or maybe read books or, if they play music, but just really, support from the community. It looks different in a lot of different ways, but we accept all and any help that we can get. So.
Awesome. And how can somebody find out more about Harmony Day?
Sure. You can go to harmonydaysupport.org or you can reach out to us. And Andy is our director. He's readily available and always willing to meet or just give tours. So if somebody's interested in seeing what we do, just come on, stop by, and we'll walk you around, let you see.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather, for joining us.
Thank you.
And now we have Jacob.
Yes, Heather. Hello.
Patrick Henry Family Services. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been a rush here, just getting a table, and then, I didn't know I was going to be on the podcast today, so
I know.
that's new.
I like to throw surprises at people. I like to just, that way you don't have time to tell me no.
Yeah, cool.
Here we go. So tell us a little bit about Patrick Henry Family Services.
Yeah, so Patrick Henry Family Services, we are a nonprofit, faith-based service provider in the community for child and family services. There's a lot that we do, and honestly, the better question is, what don't we do?
Yeah.
But with the bottom line of everything to the work of confronting the reasons that foster care exists and surrounding children and families in our region with meaningful relationships and safe families.
Okay. So what are the ways that people can support Patrick Henry? I know, well, actually, can we talk a little bit about Camp Hat Creek? 'Cause don't you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk
So
about that for a minute, because I think that's a really good piece to what you guys do.
Yeah, so Hat Creek Camp is Virginia's premier trauma-informed camp space. At least to my knowledge, I'm not part of the camp staff, but I don't think there's really anything else in Virginia like it. All the summer camp staff are trained in trauma-informed care and trust-based relational intervention, so that, hey, to that point of confronting the reasons that foster care exists, taking these kids from rough places and giving them a piece of their childhood back, because just putting that instillment into them and letting them be kids, that lets them grow up into healthy, well-balanced adults.
Okay. Yeah, that's I love it, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to make sure we brought it up, because I think it's a wonderful space for people to come to and do just what just do just that and be in a safe place, and I appreciate all you guys do for that community.
Absolutely.
How can someone help support Patrick Henry Family Services?
Yeah, absolutely. So honestly, something that I would highlight is, again, I serve in the role, I serve as the coordinator of church empowerment. And so we just recognize that, hey, the faith community plays a huge role as, hey, like the mission that God has given to churches, as well as, hey, like putting it to professional terms of like, hey, like the social capital that's available of, hey, like a lot of these people in hard situations, like they just don't have social capital. They don't have relationships to help them through like rough times. Like sometimes it's not even about money. It's about, hey, a friend to come help you cook dinner or give you a ride to an appointment you need to get to.
Right.
So I would say just, hey, like churches, that's a huge part of what we do. And I'm kind of the main funnel for those connections, whether it be, hey, to camp or to Care Portal, any of our other programs as open doors for the church to do its meaningful work. And so to just get connected as an individual volunteer or to partner your faith community with us with your time, talent, or treasure, reach out to connect@patrickhenry.org, and we can take things from there.
Jacob, thank you so much. You did fabulous for just being thrown on a podcast.
Thank you, Heather.
No, thanks. So we have Samantha Simmons here with us, and she's not here to talk about SNS because we all know she's been on the show before, and we've chatted with her about that. But she has actually, with her partner Ashley, put together a new nonprofit in our area. I am, for one, very excited about. So tell us, Samantha, a little bit more about Dreamforge.
Sure. So a couple weeks ago, Ashley and I met up at a CVABC event, actually, and we were talking about how we've always had a dream to create a collaborative workspace, especially one that helped women launch or grow their businesses to the things and the dreams that they have for it. And so through that, we kind of decided we need to do something on a greater scale, especially with Ashley's past history. She is a domestic violence survivor. I have people who are very close to me who have been through things like sexual abuse and domestic violence. And thankfully, I have not personally had to go through it, but I've watched them, and I know how important it was to have a community around you and to have people who understood your boundaries and the safe space that is required for you to heal. And so we came together and we found a space, and we're so excited because Dreamforge, our first initiative, is going to be creating a collaborative workspace geared towards women entrepreneurs here in the Lynchburg area. We're going to have approximately 8 to 10 office spaces, as well as 2 to 4 smaller working workspaces that are going to, like cubicle type workspaces, that are going to be available at a very affordable rate, as well as we're going to grow subsidies for that as well for approved people to come in and even be able to come into our space more affordably. But again, we still want to foster that tangible goal, because that's something that's really important when you're reeling emotionally, to know that, hey, I have this physical thing that I need to make my rent this month. How do I build my business to do that? What are the things to do? And then you know that right down the hall you have the people to help you do it. So really excited for that. And then we're going to grow beyond that into programs to help women to prevent potential abuse, as well as, again, bring them out of that. And we do want to help women as a whole to know the power that they have and the knowledge that they have can be really impactful to their community. And we do hope ultimately, honestly, to take it way past Lynchburg and just make a whole movement out of it.
So I know you guys are just getting started.
Yes.
Like baby started.
Like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, baby steps. So what are the needs that you guys have right
Yeah.
now as a just starting out nonprofit?
Sure. So what we're asking for right now is community support in raising the funds that we need to build out this space. We are looking for corporate sponsors or organizational sponsors to sponsor even potentially whole office spaces where you get your name on the wall. You even potentially get to like maybe deck it out a little bit with your colors. We're taking a look at what all that could look like, and we're going to have a sponsor wall. Like when we do our ribbon cutting of the CVABC, anybody who has supported our mission is going to get to sign that wall or that tapestry. So yeah, our first big initiative is just bringing in the funding to create this space that then we can grow and create these programs out of.
Okay, awesome. Now, how can somebody get in touch with you guys to get,
Sure.
involved?
So you can take a look at our website, forgingdreams.org. You can also email us at info@forgingdreams.org. We do have our capital campaign on our website. We're happy to email it to you as well. If you're in the Lynchburg area, send us an email. We'd love to have coffee and talk with you and tell you a little bit more about what we're doing.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, so next up we have Johnson's Health Center, and I'm gonna, shameless plug for Johnson's Health Center. My child is, that's where she goes for her medical care. So, and they're fabulous. Shout out to Dr. Reese.
That's right.
That's my guy. That's my guy. So, so we have been longtime clients of Johnson's Health Center, and people think of a health center and they're like, oh, that's a nonprofit, because I don't think people really realize that you guys are not a funded, like a for-profit organization. But tell us a little bit more about Johnson's Health Center.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm Brandy. I actually am an engagement specialist at Johnson's Health Center. We are a federally qualified health center. At Johnson's Health Center, we obviously offer health services, but in addition to that, we're not just health services. We have mental health, we have OBGYN, we have pharmacy, we have outreach, we have
Do you have dental?
dental, yes.
Yep, I thought so.
A host of other services. We are located in Lynchburg, 320. That houses our adults, but also at our Atherholt location, we have OB and children. We see OB and children patients in Bedford. We have a mix, Rustburg. We have a mix, and we have a walk-in in Madison Heights. We also have a health center in Madison Heights. We're actually growing. I do not know when we're going to open, sometime next year, so that's exciting. We have a lot of integrated services that's going to be within that office. We're actually taking our walk-in and transferring it to the larger location. In addition to that, we'll have a community gym and then a pantry. So, yeah, we're doing some big things, some great things for the community. We like to connect with the community. We like to let them know that if you are underinsured or, so if you're uninsured, we will 100% still accept you. We have a slide scale, so it's income based, and we will process it. And even if you're overqualified for that and are uninsured, we offer marketplace options. We can counsel you on them. We try to just do what's best for our community. We do accept Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, and then all commercial insurance. So, yeah, we love Johnson's.
I love Johnson's. I know, like I said, my daughter has been a patient there, since she was born, pretty much. And I do love the fact, so we go to the Bedford location, 'cause we live in Bedford, and I see Sherry quite a bit. But we, I think I love the fact that I can get in. I can call early in the morning and try and get those walk-in spaces, or they're usually really accommodating, trying to get us in if we have an emergency or something's come up. But I love the being able to just see the doctor, walk right out to the pharmacy, get what I need. I'm not having to go to CVS down the road. I'm not having to, and I'm supporting a local nonprofit as well. And it's just and you're able to do that with like your health care, and like people don't even realize that it's that's what that is. So so like I said, I'm a huge huge fan of Johnson Health
Thank
Center.
you.
So y'all keep my little one, feeling good. And, sometimes I feel like let me shout out Dr. Cohen too.
Yes.
I see Dr. Reese, but I see Dr. Cohen a lot too. So I'd give him a quick shout. But thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about us. If someone's interested in maybe looking at moving their healthcare there or finding out more, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way is just to call our office. In addition to that, we do have our marketing director. Awesome. She just revamped our website. So if you're looking to come, just please visit our website. You can also schedule the appointments at 6 p.m. the day before if you need a walk-in, right on the website.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course, thank y'all.
Appreciate it. So now I'm going to be speaking with one of the other sponsors of our event, but also it's far more than a sponsor. They do so much for nonprofits in our area. And I've got Megan Huffman with me,
Hello.
the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us a little bit about the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation and then all that you guys do to provide support for nonprofits. And then, of course, let's touch on Share Greater Lynchburg, too.
Thank you for the opportunity. This is an awesome event. You've done a great job pulling this event together today. The Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation has been in existence for just over 50 years. We were started as just an idea of a few members of a bank, and they invested $14,000 into a bank account and invested that in the community, and that has grown to now $58 million.
Wow.
Invested in the stock market, and then out of that, every year, it's a board of directors and a distribution committee. There's a lot of people involved in stewarding this $58 million of gifts. That pours $2.2 million a year into the local nonprofit community.
Okay.
That looks like fall and spring grants and scholarships for students across our region.
Wow. That's amazing. And I see, a lot of, if they go on your website, you can kind of look and see what
Right.
some of those grants have gone to. And, there's just some well-deserved nonprofits in our area. But like I said earlier today, I think there's still a lot of nonprofits that people don't realize even
Right.
exist or what their needs are.
Right.
And you guys can help with that as well.
Yes, and we, in order to engage with the foundation, you can, individuals can come and set up a fund in memorial in support of. We're working on a really cool fund right now that's in honor of a local teacher, and
Okay.
and there's just some neat ways to honor people and remember people through the foundation, and that then pours into grants and scholarships. But with that, we typically fund about 200 nonprofits a year. And I think I talked to someone earlier here today, and they said we didn't even know there was 200 nonprofits in the Greater Lynchburg region. I would assert that there's probably more like 300. But
Wow.
every day you learn about. Like today, I've met 3 new organizations that I didn't even know were here. So they keep growing, and there's a lot of amazing hearts in this community that start organizations every day. So we want to find ways to turn over every stone and be able to support even the teeniest organization.
Right.
I'm really excited when we can give a grant to an organization that has a full-time person working, and they're in their home at night. They're setting up a youth program, or it's just incredible, these people who are doing double shift to serve the community that they care about. And we heard about some of that today, so it's really great.
And tell us a little bit about Share Greater Lynchburg. 'Cause I know that's another way people can find out more.
Yeah, so 3 years ago during the pandemic, a group of community leaders came together and said, how can we help our nonprofit community thrive and survive after this economic downturn that we know are coming? And so they initiated a program called Share Greater Lynchburg, and it was started in Charlotte. Share Charlotte is our parent organization, but we have 8 cities across the country that have these share programs and platforms, and we're the smallest. So we're really lucky to have a beta site here that allows us to feature nonprofit organizations, the events that they put on, all their volunteer opportunities, ways to give back, wish lists. And we have 164 organizations listed. So
Wow,
like I
that's
said, we
awesome.
continue to try to add to that. But you can come to sharegreaterlynchburg.org and find hundreds of ways to give back to our local community.
Awesome. Megan, thank you so much for all that you do for the community and for, being a part of this event. I greatly appreciate it. And, if you have, maybe you're out there listening and you think, hey, I'd like to, maybe even donate some money to
Right.
Share Greater, not Share Greater Lynchburg, but the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation. How can somebody do that? How can they? get
Sure.
in touch with
Just
you?
visit lynchburgfoundation.org and you can see all the different ways to give back.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now we have Courtney Green here
Hey.
with Love Heals. And tell us a little bit about Love Heals. I know you guys are even sort of a newer nonprofit in our area as well.
Totally. Love Heals exists to build a world where no one walks through hardship alone. And we do that through our 6 C's. So that's connecting community, coordinating care, and covering costs. Kind of our pride and joy is that we're story-driven, not cause-driven. And because of that, we get to help so many different types of people. Primarily, we worked with medical patients, so cancer patients and MS. We've helped single mom, raising 4 kids with MS, and her son was born blind. We helped a kid with testicular cancer, a woman with PCOMA ovarian cancer. We did an event for a girl with breast, bone, liver, and spleen cancer out in California. So now that we're outside of medical, we expanded into hardship. And because of that, yeah, we got to actually just recently do an event for 2 sisters who took their parents to court for custody of their 4 younger siblings. So
Okay.
that's been pretty fun just to do these events for individuals. Yeah.
Well, I think it's and I think it's important to let people know about options that are available in this area because you never know when you may need it. You know, you may think I've got it all right now. I'm doing all the, doing everything right, and then you never know when you'll lose your job and you're going to need to go and get services from a local nonprofit in our area. If you're going to need food, if you're going to need a bed, if you're going to need just support in general.
Yeah.
Because, things can happen in an instant. COVID was a perfect example of that a few years ago. So many people who thought they had, everything ended up having nothing after a while. So, it's great seeing, organizations like yours that are starting up and showing support for those that need it.
Yeah, we just believe people need to be heard, and that's the biggest thing. So when we put on our events, we do custom T-shirt designs, adventures with purpose, and story-driven concerts. So they get to show up to the concert. We cover 100% of the cost of everything, and then we know, and the audience knows, when they paid $20 to go to a concert, they paid $20 towards someone's real bills.
Gotcha.
So you get to meet them, hear their story. We started because my best friend had cancer, and no one knew how to talk to her. So we just realized people need to learn to listen, and what better way to listen than at a concert where you make everyone sit down and hear what they have to say. So
what are some of the best ways to support Love Heals?
we really need monthly partners. So if you go to our website, we're just looking for monthly partners to join us month in, month out. If you give us $9 a year, that's roughly $100 a year, or $9 a month, that's roughly $100 a year, and we're calling that our Give 100, so we can give 100. So we're just looking for small donations coming in regularly, but we also need volunteers, people to pray with our beneficiaries, people to be friends to them. We host monthly coffee for caregivers where we're inviting caregivers to come, just connect and can free coffee and enjoy one another. So
Very cool.
yeah, just different ways to kind of come in and support relationally is
Okay.
what we're looking for. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on and talking to us about
Thank
Love
you.
Heals. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Okay, so now we have a nonprofit I think a lot of people have heard about, the Lynchburg Daily Bread. And if you haven't heard about it, you're now going to, because you should know about what they do. And they're just fabulous support to those in this community that need, food, need, they need a place to just come and eat and feel welcome. So tell us more about the Lynchburg Daily Bread and what, kind of what y'all's needs are right now.
All right, our main needs right now are mainly like food, any type of grocery items, volunteer time, even money donations.
Okay. Now y'all do what is that? Y'all do a nonprofit. Y'all do a fundraiser every year with the bread, the pottery. What is that? I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's like the
The bowls.
yes,
right?
the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's
yeah.
gonna kill me now because
It's wonderful though.
they
A
do
ton
where
of
they
people
have
come
like
up with that.
people come and make like the different bowls. They do the pottery and then it's the soup. They have the soup and so if I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it, but y'all need to look for it. Check out Lynchburg Daily Bread because when that comes around again, it's really a great event to
Definitely.
support.
Yeah,
and
we had it already this
Yeah.
year. So I think they do it around probably like I think April.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
April.
March or April,
Yeah.
I think, is when it is. Because I didn't get to do it this year, and I was kind of bummed out because I thought it was really, really cool. But definitely, I'm sure donations of food is greatly needed.
Yeah, because their numbers right now are at like a record high. We had a record high on Tuesday. It was like over 1,000 meals served.
Wow.
In one day.
And see, I don't think people I don't think people realize what a need there is in the community for people that don't just get to have 3 meals a day. I think you take it for granted when you're when you're getting those 3 meals a day and you're leaving food on the table afterwards. So when you put it in the perspective of 1,000 people were there on Tuesday because they needed food, that's just
insane.
that makes me. I mean, honestly, I want you to just take all that food with you when you go. But yeah, so
I mean, we can.
Yeah, so I think it, but thank you guys for being here. I greatly appreciate it. And how can people find out more about Lynchburg Daily Bread?
You can give us a call. Our phone number is 434-845-5703, and you can talk to our volunteer coordinator, Rachel.
Okay.
If you want to volunteer time, or you could call, and if you want to bring in something, you can bring in something like donations, or if it's too much to carry in your own car, we have vans that can come pick up wherever y'all are at.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have Deirdre, and she is with Building Bridges. And tell us a little bit more about Building Bridges and what your organization does in our community.
Okay, Building Bridges brings the arts to the underserved community of Lynchburg. We work with Jubilee Center, Boys and Girls Club, city schools, and try to bring arts. We have workshops. We have a drumming workshop. We have art workshops. I just met somebody who was willing to do a writer's workshop with our kids. We have a summer camp, a 2-week summer camp that's underwritten by the Academy to bring the cost down. And then we have a program in the fall that's our fundraiser that we give scholarships at. We give $1,750 and $500 scholarships to high school students who are involved in the arts.
Okay, that's amazing. Now, how is someone best able to support, Building Bridges in our community?
Well, they can come to the concert. It's going to be really good. It's going to have Roanoke Voices gospel choir.
Okay.
There'll be a hip-hop play, and then there'll be a children's choir created by students in the Lynchburg area.
Oh, awesome.
You can go to our Facebook page. We have donate buttons there. And then there are other support programs, come to things.
Okay.
We're always looking for sponsors.
So the best way to check is to get on your website. Y'all have all of that listed there.
The Facebook page is a better place because
Okay.
that has all the events.
Okay.
And then if you like it, you're interested in it, it will then show up on your newsfeed so your friends can see. So.
Okay. All right, very cool. Yeah, so definitely check that out because I love it when nonprofits. I love going to like events that nonprofits put on that you can do. You're going to support them, but you have fun. Like it's usually something that it's enjoyable. It's not like you're just sitting there like twiddling your thumbs.
Well, this is called
Enjoyable
a
event.
Christmas to remember.
Okay.
So
And what date is it again?
It's November 18th.
November 18th. Okay, perfect.
And so it should be a really nice way to get into the holiday spirit.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us and telling us more about Building Bridges. And check out their Facebook page and mark that date on your calendars, November 18th.
All right. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you. And now we have Ben here with Centra Pace. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm good. So tell us more about Centra Pace.
Yeah, so PACE is a program that we found that helps a lot of low-income seniors in the area, but not very many people know about it. Long story short, it is originally designed to be a nursing home alternative.
Okay.
To give you a little bit of a history on when it actually started back in the 70s out in California with the Asian American communities. In their communities, you have multi-generational homes. You take care of your elders. You don't put them in a nursing home and that sort of thing. And as our world started shifting and changing, the grandkids were at school, the kids were at, both sets of kids were at work. So then the grandparents were staying at home alone, and that was kind of abnormal. And then as dementia set in and things like that, it became an unsafe home environment. So they're trying to think of how can we change this model to where they can get the care they need at home rather than having to send them someplace. So that's when PACE was born.
Okay.
But the idea is we're going to provide all those services someone would normally get at a nursing home, but bring them to them at home.
Okay.
So there's a lot of little pieces that we offer people, but I kind of jokingly say that it's like a home health a day center, and a transport service all squished into one program.
Right.
Because we will take people to and from all their doctor's appointments. We have a day center they can come to socialize and get lunch at. At the day center, there's a medical clinic where they can see a doctor, they can see a nurse practitioner, they can get physical therapy. And we even have aides that'll come out to the house and help people with bathing and dressing, even light housekeeping, things like that. So we've got a lot of different pieces that come together to form PACE to give people support at home.
So how does somebody get involved with Central PACE?
Like as a participant or as a...
Both. Let's do it. As
Okay.
a participant or as a giver, being able to support.
Yeah, so if somebody's like, hey, I know somebody who could benefit from this program. The doctor has mentioned maybe look into assisted living, but let's be honest, how many people want to move to a nursing home? Not very many people. It's like...
That's Woody's goal. I'm just playing.
Be nice, Heather. But no,
It's about my speed.
but no, so it's... If somebody's like, hey, that's been brought up, we need to start thinking about this, come check us out. We're at the corner of 5th and Federal downtown.
Okay.
We're more than happy to give people tours and show them around. There are some qualifications. You have to be over the age of 55.
Okay.
One thing I will say is that 99% of our participants actively have Medicaid. So that is, it's not technically a qualification, but a high percentage of our people do have Medicaid. So if you're a senior and you need some assistance, there's one thing you have to show that you meet nursing home level of care needs. There's a thing called a UAI, Uniform Assessment Instrument. It's used by hospitals and social workers to show that you have those needs for ADLs, activities of daily living. So if you have those things, if you need assistance, if you are eligible for Medicaid and you're over 55, PACE can certainly help. If you would like to become more involved and help out, we do have volunteer opportunities. We're always looking for people to help out with activities and things like that. But honestly, just spreading the word about it. So many people don't know PACE exists.
Right.
They just think, oh, somebody's getting old, and my family member or myself is getting older. I'm going to have to go to a nursing home. That's not the only option you have.
Right.
There is an alternative.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on with us.
No,
and
thanks
telling
for
more people
having
about
me. I
Central PACE.
appreciate it.
And definitely check them out, everyone. Especially if you're over 50. So Woody, you're not there yet. 55.
55. You
Almost.
got it.
I'm counting the days.
No, not there yet. Okay. All right. So now we have Mike Smith here, Chaplain Mike Smith with Covered Chaplaincy. How are you today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us a little bit about Covered. I know we've chatted a little bit on the show before, but want to kind of bring it up again. Tell us what you guys have going on.
So, Covered Chaplaincy was born out of a need for support for our first responders. Now, that has morphed into several other things, but Covered Chaplaincy deals with the relieving of stress and the difficulty of the continual PACE job that first responders deal with. That's fire, rescue, police. And each one of those calls can lead to a stressful situation. You can go from a domestic violence down to a property dispute, but each one of them can heighten or lower that stress level. And they carry that with them, but only able to do it so much within each of the calls. And that stress really can be overwhelming. It causes high level of divorce, suicide, burnout, PTSD. These difficulties come with first responders, and sometimes they can do a whole lifetime of that career, and they retire, and they're still left with all these struggles.
Right.
And so us as chaplain are trying to mitigate those struggles over the course of their career by being ministry of presence. We're there so they can have someone who they can trust to talk to be able to share these struggles they deal with. And it's not just the struggles of the job. We're a part of that too. But it's also, things they may deal with at home, and helping them with their families and the struggles they face so they can continue to be that guaranteed thing that when we pick up the phone, a 911 dispatcher will answer it. They will dispatch a police officer. They will dispatch an ambulance. They will dispatch a firefighter to whatever need they have, because everyone has been de-stressing or going through difficulties and still enjoying the job that they do. And so we're there to help them do that. But we're also to help them in their interactions with the community. There's a lot of times where something may come up that they can't deal with directly. For example, what if somebody's homeless? How can they get that individual to a homeless shelter or to maybe provide something for a night? They're just passing through, something happens.
Right.
Covered Chaplaincy is able to support that need at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's a lot of wonderful organizations that exist here in Bedford and Lynchburg and the surrounding areas. But they're not open probably at 2 o'clock in the morning. So how do we connect that? We, as the chaplain services, provide immediate critical triage needs to them at that moment, but then we connect them for the further need and service they have to the community members that are out there. For example, whether it's DSS or it's Agape Center or it's other places that you probably talked to today, we can connect them with that for the long-term haul that deals with that. And sometimes people don't want to ask for help, so maybe having somebody to hold their hand, go with them over to that, introduce them to that, and say, okay, such and such place, you've got this. And we do that partnering with churches, we do that with organizations, and we do that with government facilities. And we try to be that middleman. We are the triage amongst the critical incident, getting them from one place to the next so that they can be able to survive and maybe not be someplace that my officers or my firemen or my rescue service have to go back to, because it's a circular thing. If we help the community, that helps them, but because they go to call, they may not see what happens over here. So I just was able to let some folks know about some calls that were completed up. They didn't know how it worked. It gives them a sense of peace, because nobody in these fields sign up and says, I'm just doing it just to do it to get a paycheck. They do it because they want to help. And so when they hear help is happening in community even beyond their call, it gives them a sense of peace. So it's always a circular motivation for what we do here in the chaplaincy. And so we have a few chaplains that do support, and we're able to do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're not a paid entity of the organization like, Bedford Police Department, Sheriff's Department. They don't pay us. They may support us in a small way, but this is all through community support and help through this nonprofit of chaplaincy to provide chaplains and to provide community help.
I feel like I have nothing else to say. That was, you did a great job. That was amazing. I'm just sitting here and just listening to you wow. So, well, thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Especially for supporting. And I will give a quick shout out. I know one of my other podcasts, not really but another podcast on Grove Street FM, Brian Schley, Life, Liberty, Happiness. They are going to be hosting their first responders dinner. I believe it's November 4th.
November 3rd or 4th. I will get that. I think it's on a Friday. It's a special
episode. It's a 3rd then. It's
yes,
November 3rd, because we're helping them with organization.
You're
of that.
being a part of it this time.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, it's a wonderful event. It's a wonderful
great
event.
night for our first responders to come out and have some food and some music and some just some community support. So throwing that out there as well, just to kind of tag along with Chapel.
Every little bit makes a difference because they need to know that their community supports them.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, if anybody ever wants to be a part of Covered Chaplaincy, just go to coveredchaplaincy.org and look us up. And if you have any questions, we've got ways to get in contact with us, and I'll be happy to help. If you're interested in the call to be a chaplain, maybe that's something you feel called to do, reach out to us too as well. Maybe we might be able to have a sit-down chat and see if this is the call for you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you for letting me talk. And you guys have a blessed day.
You too. All right, so we're going to be talking now. We're going to switch it over to United Methodist Family Services. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fabulous. And United Methodist Family Services is also someone we have had on our podcast in the past, and we've talked to them about the need for foster care support in our area. And so just wanted to kind of chat with you a little bit more about that and what you guys are looking for. And, what your needs are.
Yeah, so my name's Holly Coates. I'm the regional director for the South and West region for UMFS, and that's our offices in Farmville, Lynchburg, and South Hill. And we provide therapeutic foster care, kinship services, and adoption services in the region. And our big need right now is, sure, donations, volunteers, all that's great, but we need foster parents. Mm-hmm. There are over 5,000 children in foster care in Virginia right now, and probably only 4,000 families, meaning approximately 1,000 to 1,400 kids are sleeping in hotels or DSS offices at night and not having a family to go to.
And I don't think people realize that that's what's happening with these kids, that they're just, up in hotel rooms or, like you said, just in the office space. And I think, I know people, they sit there and go, well, I just don't have the room, or I don't have, people get worried about putting foster kids with their kids. They're like, oh, well, I have kids. These are the reasons you need to reach out to United Methodist Family Services, because they do a great job of explaining to you why you can and how you can and how they wrap around support you with those services. Like, they offer respite. I know you guys offer that sort of stuff. So things that maybe potentially are your why I can't, why don't you go out and see why you can?
It's
so
funny. If you were to look at the back of my shirt, it actually says, "Yes, you can."
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
and I'm a big supporter. I love United Methodist Family Services. I've told my story before, but I'll really quickly, I used to work for Youth and Family Services in Bedford County. I did a lot with FAP teams and the CPMT, and you got to listen to all these cases, and we'd have kids come in. And I just remember this one time I had a young boy that used to come into our office because we had a counselor in there, and he would see pictures of my kids that I had around my desk space, and I had one of my son. He played soccer, and he was always interested in looking at those pictures. And so one time I looked at him, and I was like, well, do you play soccer? And it tore me apart. The saddest little face. He just looked at me and he was like, I'm a foster kid. I don't do any of that. And it broke my heart. And it just put it into perspective. I've got these kids I take and I do and all this stuff. And then there's this. And I went home and cried to my husband. I wanted so badly to just pick him up and bring him with me.
So he could play.
And so it's just heartbreaking that you've got these kids and that's what they're going through. So.
And I think the thing that people don't see in the media and movies and just stories, you hear the bad things on the news, or you hear those tiny little percentages of situations that just don't go well. And people don't get the message that they're just kids. They just need a mom or a dad or a sibling or someone to take them to a soccer practice or enroll them in something or pay attention to if they're doing their schoolwork or not, or take an interest or set a boundary, even if they don't want to follow it because they want to see, are you really going to stick around if they don't? But just show that they care, and care when they're not being their best selves.
Yeah.
And we're not always all our best selves, but our families don't leave or give up on us, and they need that.
How can somebody get in touch with you guys if they're interested in learning more?
Easiest spot is www.umfs.org, and it will take you to the links for fostering. First step is an info session. You just learn more. And beyond that, we can stay in touch until you're ready for a next step, or we can just continue to provide you the awareness, or you can come to training and go through that home study process.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And now we have Kimmy.
Yes.
Good old Kimmy here with Puzzled.
Hey.
I know some of you guys have heard Kimmy and Blake on the show too. So it's great to have you back here.
It's great to be back.
Tell us
Thank
a
you.
little bit about Puzzled. I know you'll have your event coming up soon.
October 21st,
Yes.
10 to 4 at Pittman Plaza, and it is going to be extra huge this year. It kind of blew up on us last year. We weren't expecting it, but now, it's really blowing up.
Yeah, it comes so much quicker than you think.
It does.
And I'm bummed because, well, I'm not bummed, but usually we have Centerfest first and it's Puzzled. Now this year it's Puzzled and now we had to move.
I know.
It's funny. I had a lot of people come up to me and be like, well, why don't you do it on the 21st? I said, nope. I said, I will not move.
Thank you for that.
First, I said, I will not. I knew we had, the Puzzled was going on that day. The Amherst County Fair is happening.
And the
next
Apple
weekend.
Festival.
So, I was like, I'm not going to throw one more festival in the mix there. And,
Right.
And Blake does so much to support us.
Well, we love to.
We
We love to. Because you do a lot to support us, too. We all nonprofits have to stick together, which is why I did what I did today here. I offered all of the nonprofits that was here today to come to Puzzled free of charge, not charging them. They They need to get their word out. The more people we can help, the better we are.
Perfect. So tell everyone a little bit again, what are some of the things that are happening at Puzzle?
Okay, so we have a car show. Last year we had over 500 cars, but we also have a kids carnival, which has grown. We're going to have humongous bouncy houses, petting zoo, games for the children. All of that is completely free. We also have trunk or treat this year.
Yes.
And all of that is free. If you want to come bring your car and decorate it and put it in the show, it's free. You don't have to pay to be in the trunk or treat section at all. We have tons of vendors that's going to be there this year. Every kind of food you can think of is coming to Puzzle this year. So, yeah, it's going to be a great day.
Well, we really enjoyed ourselves last year when we went. My daughter loved running around and getting the different trunk or treat candy.
Yes, and all the vendors will be giving out. Some of the car show attendants will be giving out candy. We're having Halloween costume contest.
Perfect.
For adults
Are you
and
doing
children.
the donut eating contest again?
We're doing a donut eating contest, but also nothing bundt cakes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a bundt cake eating contest this year.
Oh, girl. I can't do it, but
I can.
I would try.
That's right.
You know, I'm trying to think of what I would want.
Blake and I are going to do it. We're going to do it just because we want.
It was fun. It was hilarious watching people shoving donuts in their mouths.
Oh, that one little child. There was a little girl that actually she won it, but she ate. I think it was 11 or 12 donuts.
Wow.
And she was young. It was so good. She was so cute, but she felt awful after.
So how can people, aside from just coming to the event, of course,
right?
How can people support Puzzled, throughout the year? Because, I know if it's like us, once that event's over, it's not like it's just done. You're already planning for next year.
Exactly.
So how does that work? Like, what is the way somebody can support?
Okay, so, of course, our website, puzzledevents.com. You can volunteer to help us throughout the year doing different stuff, collecting stuff for the raffles and the silent auction. Saying you'll volunteer for the show. We need volunteers for the show big time. So if anybody wants to come out and volunteer, you don't have to do it all day. You can do it, an hour, couple hours, whatever you choose. We need that. We also need people putting things together, the baskets that we use for the raffle, fixing the games for the children's carnival and stuff. We do all of that throughout the year.
Right.
So we would love to have help throughout the year. Okay. Come join Team Puzzled.
Perfect. Thank you, Kimmy, so much for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So now, I'm just switching it back and forth. So anyway, so now I have Jessie here with me with Second Stage Amherst. And I think that for those of you who don't know about Second Stage Amherst, it is a hidden gem in our area, in the Amherst area, and all the things that they do. I love hearing about all the activities you guys plan throughout the year. So let's talk about it. Tell us a little bit more about Second Stage.
Awesome. So we are basically essentially an art and community center. Our mission is to promote creativity and community to Amherst and the surrounding areas. So we offer free and very affordable events and entertainment, affordable rentals, space for small businesses, which we are at capacity with a waiting list, which is amazing. We also do art classes, workshops, camps, theater performances, other community events, really anything and everything that will promote and instill the community.
Awesome.
Engagement. Yep.
And y'all are a year-round facility. You got all kinds of things going that people can be a part of. What's the best way for people to find out what you guys have happening?
So we are Second Stage Amherst on Facebook and Instagram. You can also get our newsletter. Go to secondstageamherst.org. At the bottom of the homepage is sign up for our newsletter.
Awesome. So definitely look into Second Stage Amherst. Find out how you can support them. What are ways that people can support you guys?
So volunteers are great. Of course, monetary donations are always welcome and go straight back to our community. You can also help with, we're still looking for board members if anyone is interested in doing that, or even working with a committee to help us on the ground.
That's awesome. And where are y'all located again?
We are in the town of Amherst, right behind Food Lion on 2nd Street.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And poor Jessie, she has to deal with my daughter all week long, too.
So I love your daughter.
My daughter and the mini leotard she purchases a week for gymnastics.
I love it.
For some reason, I bet you we own, how many leotards do you think I own by now? 30? 40? Because she never remembers her Leo. So
at minimum.
It's ridiculous.
Well,
that's on the low end.
Not long ago, I was there, and I was part of this 50 leotard club. So
yes,
it's a club.
Yeah. So and with that, I'm just going to give a shout out because Dynamic Gymnastics is my daughter's gym. Yeah. I love her, and I know they're not nonprofit, but they're a great organization. That's how I know Jessie. I knew that before Second Stage. So anyway, that's my nonprofit plug for today. It's Dynamic Gymnastics. If you're looking for somewhere for your kids to go.
Yes, they are wonderful. We enjoy the community there.
Yes, same. And they do things throughout the year to give back. They've done food drives. They do toy drives. Yeah. They get their teams to compete against each other and see who can bring in the most food and who can do that. So in a way, they are supporting nonprofits. There's my plug for them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good plug.
That's right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much. And check out Second Stage and all of the events that we have coming for the fall and winter.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
And we now have, I'm going to make sure it's B, with Freedom 424. And what a great organization in our community. I know you and I got to chat a lot yesterday, about different, things with that. And I would be remiss to say, like, I mean, it's just amazing, everything you guys do.
Thank you.
So tell us about Freedom 424.
Well, one, it's wonderful to be here. So thank you so
I'm glad
much.
you could
And this
come.
is so fun to be on a podcast. Hey, everybody.
I know, right?
This is wonderful.
I'm going to make this my career.
It's fun, right?
Podcast.
I know. Well, you learn so much.
Yeah.
Like
you really do. It's crazy how much just sitting here talking to people, I get to know more about the business and how they can be supported and all that good stuff. So,
well, we're just so grateful that we can be part of it. So yeah, my name is B with Freedom 424, and I love to start out with this. So our vision is to live in a world where slavery is eradicated and justice prevails.
I feel like you should wear a cape. When
Boom!
You do that.
I know.
I like it. Put a
like
cape on.
Superheroes unite.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know, we actually just had the Freedom 424 gala the other week.
Yes.
And the president of Freedom 424, Joy Cover, she's wonderful. Hi, Joy, if you're listening.
She's a superhero, too.
Hey. Yes, she said that. She said that we are like superheroes. And I could not agree more. And I have thought about it. I'm looking at her as she has her linen. She's folding up her linen, and it's purple. And I'm like, it's a cape.
It's a cape. Put it on.
Let's go.
Yes.
So, yeah, I just love that. I think there's so much power in that sentence. In our mission at Freedom 424, we seek to prevent and end sexual exploitation and trafficking locally and globally. We raise awareness, and that's the reason that we're here. We have a table, and we're here on this podcast. Hello. And we provide prevention education and expand the restoration work of our partners.
Awesome.
So we have partners here in West Virginia as well as California. And then we also have partners in Uganda, Ecuador, Thailand, and India. And we go on outreach trips every year to see them. And that's beautiful. And I can say firsthand, I just came back from Uganda last month, and it completely changed my life, wrecked my world in the most beautiful way. I want to go back more than anything. But to see, you know, we're at the office. A lot of times we're behind a computer, behind a desk, and we're not really seeing the fruit that is coming from spreading awareness and the prevention education and us fighting. And I saw it. I saw all of these kids and these women, and they're just living. It's the true sound of freedom. Is me going to Uganda and traveling, and there's our partners are there, and what they have is a safe home for these women that have been rescued from this injustice. And we're talking about 20 women in Uganda, all under the age of 17. All either have children of their own or were about to have children. When we were there, actually, for a few weeks, I think 3 or 4 babies were born, which was just amazing. And their life is their stories are devastating, but there really is just beauty in ashes, because the joy that they feel from people that love them and that believe in them and see them as more than just, you know, whatever. They're so much more, so invaluable, and I think it's just, yeah.
I think you and I talked a little bit yesterday about the importance of just education. And I was telling you how I had seen a Facebook post recently in Bedford. You may have seen it as well, Woody, where a lady had posted that she was at Liberty Lake Park with her child, and a lady walked up and said, "Hey, I'm a photographer. I really want to photograph your child. She's beautiful.
Terrifying.
You know, can we take pictures of her so I can use them?" I'm a longtime photographer in the Bedford area, and everyone knows me, but my Instagram got hacked, so I no longer have pictures, so I'm trying to build my portfolio up. And it immediately raised red flags to this mother, like, no, you're not going to photograph my child just randomly here at the park. And she put up a post asking anyone if they knew the woman, and had like put the woman's name out there and that sort of thing. And maybe it wasn't that, maybe not, but could it have been potentially? And the things that people can do just with your kids' photographs and stuff. You have to be educated on those things. And I think that's one thing you guys do very well, is educating women and children and the needs in our area to how they don't get caught up into a situation they can't get out of.
That's our focus. If we can prevent this injustice from happening, then of course we're going to live in the most beautiful world ever.
Right.
But I think, one, kudos to the mom to say, like, hey, that's a red flag. That's exactly why we have prevention education, is so we can teach those red flags. Because I will say, when I was younger, I would have never thought that that was a red flag. And I think a lot of people, and maybe it's just me being naive, but I think a lot of people could agree with that. Some people that know that their child is beautiful would maybe take that as a compliment. If someone's like, hey, can I take some pictures of your kid? You're like, absolutely. I just got his hair done. He's got this fly little outfit. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
You never know. But we want to believe that the world is innocent, you know. But unfortunately, you have to be super cautious. So yes, our priority, our main focus has been prevention education. And we have been working with the standards of learning. And so now we are so excited. We've created curriculums that are going to be launched into the standards of learning. And that's can I just, I'm clapping right now. Y'all don't hear me, but that is huge. That means that your children are going to have access to the knowledge of just, I know it's kind of crazy to think that a child would understand like human trafficking or sexual exploitation, but we're not. It's so much more. We're teaching them healthy boundaries. We're teaching them how to say yes, how to say no, how to own their body, how to have that agency, that independence. And again, if we can tell them, and of course show them, we love the Lord, and we know that we can't do anything without Him. So if we can show those little ones just how the Lord sees them, how beautiful they are, then they're not going to listen to some man later on down the road or woman later on down the road that says, hey, you're wonderful. You are smart. You are beautiful. You are strong. Come with me. They're going to say, I know. I know. And
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we want to do that. We just really want to build people up, and however we can do that, and even just having this opportunity. And again, thank you so much for letting us be on your podcast. But just having this little opportunity to talk about something super dark. We live in a broken world, and it's sad, but there's so much beauty. And you guys, I know that this is a depressing topic, but if you only knew what's to come and how much progress has been made, and how many people have been saved, and how many people we're fighting for.
Right.
I promise it would encourage you. There's lots of wonderful things that are happening, but it takes money to fight money. Of course, this is a $150 billion industry. Okay, so that's the reason that we really are grateful for opportunities like this, so we can potentially receive funding or have someone that presses on their heart and they want to give or donate or get involved in Freedom 424, so we can continue to do what we're compelled and we're called to do, which is fight for justice.
Amazing. Now, how can someone find out more about Freedom 424?
Please go to our website. If you go to our website, freedom424.org, that is going to connect you immediately. It'll take you to places where you can fill out applications to get involved in volunteering and outreach trips. If you wanted to go to visit all the countries and states I talked about earlier, they can just hop right on there. If they want to intern, we are looking for internships in the spring. There's lots of opportunities. So freedom424.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us.
So much, Heather.
All right. So next we're going to be talking to Maggie. And Maggie is here, and we're going to talk with her about two different organizations. And so let's start off with the Central Virginia Alliance for Community Living. And tell us a little bit more about that organization and what you guys do.
Okay, CVACL, not to be confused with CVABC.
That's right.
Central Virginia Alliance for Community Living has been our area agency on aging for 48 years now. They started in 1975 as the area agency on aging, and I'm not sure if I've got the year right. I think it's about 2014. They started also serving adults with disabilities. So we provide supportive services so that folks who want to remain living in their homes can do so independently, with extra support. Maybe they are isolated or lower income and they can't get to the doctor as well anymore, or they can't get to their grocery store, or whatever their need might be, we can help them stay home so that they can live where they want to live.
Okay.
So there's like 20 different programs we do. We have them come in, they fill out, we go through a comprehensive assessment, and they may be thinking, well, but I just want you to bring me some food once a week. Well, that's great, but let's see if there's something else we can help you with. And so we do this comprehensive assessment so we can do all of these wraparound services. So and then we check in on them. So our drivers who bring those meals to them will also chat with them for a few minutes, see if they need a ride to the doctor. How is their house? Is it 98 degrees outside and their air conditioner stopped working? We can help them with that. Maybe we find out that they're feeding their lunch to their dog because they can't get dog food. We've got a program that will help with that. We can bring you pet food. So there's all kinds of ways that we can do that. We also have congregate sites so that if they are able to, we'll go pick them up, bring them together. We'll all have lunch together. They play some games, get some nutrition education, just have some socialization so they get out of the house and they're not alone. And then we'll take them back home again at the end of the afternoon. So it's really wonderful how we serve these older folks. They've lived a nice full life and they want to remain home. They just need a little extra help.
Awesome. Now, how can somebody support you guys at the I'm gonna Central Virginia Alliance for Community Living?
Yes,
I got it.
Yeah,
I got
you
it.
did.
got it.
Good job.
Yes.
We've got several volunteer opportunities available. We're always looking for folks to come into those congregate sites and help us out with crafts or other kinds of support. There's a list on our website. It's cvacl.org. So there's a list of volunteer opportunities there. And of course, while we do receive some federal and state funding for the bulk of our programs, we have a lot of unfunded needs. Our Anna Meals program, for instance, is completely, it's not funded by the government, although we did get a grant from Meals on Wheels of America to help with that. But we've got a bunch of other smaller wraparound programs that are not funded through those big federal and state dollars. So an individual donation is always welcome. But yeah, those volunteer opportunities are there as well.
Perfect. Now, you're also here to talk about the Amherst Women's Shelter.
Amherst Women's
Club. Sorry, not
yeah,
shelter.
No,
Club.
we're not a shelter.
Club. I'm sorry.
Almost.
Sorry.
Club, though.
Look, I got Central
Oh, that's
Virginia
a whole
Community.
super different.
Yeah. Look, I got Central Virginia Alliance for Community Living, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
You did great.
Amherst, Then I got all the small ones get me.
Yeah.
You got.
So tell us about the Amherst Women's Club.
Amherst Women's Club. We just celebrated 50 years. And
wow.
It's a volunteer organization of women, actually throughout the region, but we are Amherst County focused. Although we do have, like I said, we have members from outside of Amherst County. But we get together once a month or so for lunch, and we'll have a program that centers around either arts and culture, civic engagement and outreach, education, environment, health and wellness. So we're learning about all of these different aspects of life while we socialize with each other, and then we do a bunch of fundraising so that we can turn around and give back to our community.
Okay.
So we're in the school system with different donations and volunteer activities there. At the end of the year, our fundraising then goes to scholarships for 2 high school seniors, one going to college, one going to tech school. And then anything we might have left over in the fundraising pot, we will then, as a group, determine which local nonprofits will get those funds for donations.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So how can somebody support you guys with the Amherst Women's Club?
Probably just come and check us out.
Okay.
We're always looking for new members. You do have to be a woman to do that.
Do you have to live in Amherst?
You do not have to live in Amherst.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, our club president lives in Forest.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good to know.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So, yeah. We're looking for women members to come out and help us with our fundraisers. Go visit us at some of these other activities. We'll be at the Sorghum Festival on Saturday the 7th.
Love the Sorghum.
Oh, that's a wonderful.
So let me tell you a real quick plug of the Sorghum Festival. My husband's grandfather actually helped make the sorghum for years till he passed away last year.
Oh, wow.
He was the last remaining founding member of the Clifford Worthington Club.
Yeah.
So
that is the one.
That's what I just
festival.
got to say about that.
It's like it always signals fall for me.
Yeah.
When that was
Exactly.
when like that. Now you know fall's
It is
here.
now fall.
It is fall.
Yeah, that's where I go get my Brunswick stew.
Oh my gosh,
Love it.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be out there. We'll be out there at the Sorghum Festival. and we've got a silent auction coming up in November.
Okay.
That third Wednesday in November, the 15th, I believe it is. But we're going to try to do some online bidding ahead of time. So if you can't make it to the event, you can at least bid on some of the items that we're going to have together. And then we're going to cut it off and turn it over to live bidding. And you do not have to be a member to come to the silent auction.
Awesome.
Buy stuff. So
Awesome.
It'll be at Sweetbriar College.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
Great
for joining us
organizations.
today. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. So check out the Central Virginia Alliance for Community Living and the Amherst Women's Club. Got them both right. There you go.
Woohoo!
Boom.
Check them both out. And thank you, Maggie.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. So I have Shannon and Sam. Are you going to talk with us today, Sam? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
here you go,
So I
Sam.
got Shannon and Sam here with us with Building Beloved Communities. And we were supposed to do like a presentation, but people don't ever listen and they just pack up and leave.
It's all good.
So, but I'm really excited to hear from both of you guys because y'all do a lot in our community for nonprofit organizations. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Building Beloved Communities, and then B, you had some information that you were going to talk about today, for nonprofits. So, want to kind of learn a little bit more about that because all of our nonprofits today are getting this podcast, and we're going to make sure that they say, hey, check out the end so we can kind of share some info. So who wants to start? Shannon? Sam?
Yeah, I'll start. So I'm the Director of Business Development for Building Beloved Communities, and I'm also a consultant. And a lot of people don't understand exactly what the work is that we do. So I find that just telling a story about what we do has been the most effective way. So I've been working with a pretty large nonprofit in Taos, New Mexico that focuses on a homeless shelter for youth. And they're very well funded, but they didn't have any built out fundraising department. So we went in and built that out, built out those systems and procedures, hired someone to take that over locally, and then have really worked alongside them. We're kind of pulling back as the consultants and really letting this person take the lead. And that has been really rewarding and fulfilling to see. We really like getting creative in our work, so we were able to do a radio fundraiser for them last year. The community pulled together, and we were able to raise over $27,000. And we've almost got all of that set for this year so far, and the fundraiser isn't until November. So that's a little bit about the type of work that we do. My focus is on fundraising and strategic planning. And Sam and Bonnie actually just went out to Colorado recently. Sam, do you want to tell them how that went?
Yeah, hey. So Sam Sokoloff, Building Beloved Communities, Senior Consultant. Is that my title, Shannon?
Yes,
Something like
I
that.
think so.
Yeah, so...
I can make one up for you if you'd like. I'm good at that.
Yeah, please. So some of the work that we do is around diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice education. So we work with a network of nonprofits. So Bonnie Chavez, who's the CEO and founder of Building Beloved Communities, and I went to Denver just a couple of weeks ago to work with an organization around their DEI planning, their strategic planning, which has been about a year-long process with them. I mean, we jumped in after about 4 months of pre-work that they did. So we're doing more projects like that. My background, though, is with AmeriCorps. So before relocating to Virginia just over a year ago, I was the director of AmeriCorps for the state of New Mexico. And when I came to Virginia, my wife got her dream job in Bedford, which moved us out here. But one of the things that I was asked to do was to work with the Virginia AmeriCorps Commission to help bring the AmeriCorps picture to nonprofits and faith-based organizations and to government agencies across the state. So AmeriCorps is I would call it the best kept secret in community service. It's a $1 billion enterprise federal organization that was founded actually 30 years ago. We're coming up on the 30-year anniversary. What AmeriCorps allows communities to do is to create a dedicated service program. There are different streams of AmeriCorps. The oldest is VISTA, which is Volunteers in Service to America. But my focus really is what's called AmeriCorps State National, which is boots on the ground national service. And that allows organizations that have the capacity to be able to recruit a cohort of members to help them expand their service. So again, this is a really well-kept secret, AmeriCorps. but we're talking about millions of dollars available to Virginia nonprofits, eligible organizations. If you are a food bank, if you are let's say a health clinic, if you're serving rural populations, if you're an environmentally focused organization, if you're working with seniors, then AmeriCorps may be the right thing for you. If you can think of a program, if I had X number of extra people that would help us expand our mission, what would AmeriCorps look like? How can I put some boots on the ground members to do that? So I'm happy to work with any nonprofit organization that would like to kind of sort of conceptualize what AmeriCorps could do for them. The commission, the Serve Virginia Commission, has opportunities throughout the year to be able to submit an application for funding. There's planning grant opportunities. There's also VISTA opportunities. And NCCC, I won't get too deep into the weeds about AmeriCorps, all the streams of service, but suffice it to say that it can be sort of a game changer for lots of nonprofits that are sort of on their way, that have had some years of success. But it's also a great way for nonprofits to work together. We've got a lot of nonprofits in Virginia. We've got a lot, probably per capita, more nonprofits than any other state, which is a good thing, but sometimes we see duplication of services. And I'm a big believer in nonprofits working together, and AmeriCorps can help energize that.
That's awesome. It's a lot to take in. So I know, and I think what I really too want to make sure to do is maybe set up an actual like lunch and learn opportunity where people are coming for dedicated, so that you have that time to really push that out to nonprofits in our area. Because I honestly think a lot of nonprofits struggle with how to get funding, how to kind of like you said, there's a lot of them out there. How do they put themselves above maybe some? And I'm not trying to say like step on other nonprofits to get what you need, but I'm just saying like how do you get the awareness out there to people so that you are able to get the funding you need, and kind of like with Shannon, like the strategic planning piece of it. I think a lot of them don't really think about the steps, the things they need to do to get
It's a great point, Heather. Yeah. I mean, what we see, we don't want nonprofits competing, right? We want to, ideally, there would be enough funding for everybody. But it's a business. The nonprofit sector is a major economic generator in the state of Virginia and across the country. So there's definitely competition between organizations that are vying for the same hearts and minds. They're vying for the same funders. Ideally, we would see collaboration and cooperation. We would see what's called a consortia. We'd see more organizations working together. But as the needs get bigger, especially after the pandemic.
That's what I was just going to say. Have you seen that a lot since the pandemic, where people, it's more like fighting, you're trying to fight for your piece of the pie?
There was a lot of funding out there for the last couple years.
Yeah.
There was a lot of relief funding. There was more funding probably ever in the last 50 years for nonprofit organizations. But a lot of those grant cycles are coming to a close now. And there's suddenly a deficit again. So nonprofits have to be more agile and thoughtful in how they approach the work that they do. But again, the needs are getting greater and greater. We need more sophistication in the nonprofit sector. We need organizations that think about this work strategically. Building Beloved Communities, if I can make a shameless plug for ourselves.
Absolutely.
We offer those services. We can help organizations be more effective. We can help them think about strategically what they're doing and why they're doing that. But I also, I'm passionate, I know Shannon's passionate about this, helping organizations work together, helping create those connections and seeing more collaboration.
Yes.
And one of the ways that starts is we see a lot of really great people with big hearts who want to start nonprofits. And our number one piece of advice is to do your market research and make sure there isn't another nonprofit in your area that's already doing that. And if there is, go to them and ask how you can run a program through a already established nonprofit that is more likely to receive grant monies than a new and up-and-coming nonprofit that's just going to compete for the same grant money.
Yeah.
So that's our biggest piece of advice. If you're thinking about starting a nonprofit, collaborate with another one first, get your feet off the ground, because you can always separate later.
Right. That's a great point, because I do feel like sometimes you see two of the same organization, and, I know for me it's kind of like I go, well, why would they start something they know is already being done? It's like recreating the wheel sort of thing. And then you're right, people then struggle for funding. So,
and I have another piece of advice. We've been working pretty heavily with AI. And in my experience with small businesses and nonprofits, I see a lot of them not having things like an employee handbook maybe because there's not the time or there's not the people available to do it. And so we've been discussing a lot more, how can we leverage AI in those areas? And that can look like asking, ChatGPT or Claude, what should I include in my employee handbook? Maybe one of the responses is an attendance policy, and you can ask back, what 10 things should I include in my attendance policy? And once you get that information, you can plug it into AI and say, please write me an attendance policy. This is my business. These are our values. These are the 10 things that you need to know about our attendance policy. And this has really helped galvanize a lot of nonprofits to get more work done. I'm not saying everything should be done by AI. We should be, using our critical thinking skills. We should be weaving our humanness into everything that it produces, but we can also use it as a tool to really leverage what we're trying to do.
Right. So how can, anyone who listens in, how can they contact you guys if they want to, meet with you even for like a private one-on-one session, like how and get some more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So buildingbelovedcommunities.com is going to be the best way to get in touch with us. We've all got our links up there. You can go straight to that website, find who you want to meet with of our team of 3, and grab some time on our calendar. We offer free consultations for 30 minutes. We also tend to work with some community-based projects that may not be nonprofits. So keep that in mind. If you've got something going on and you just want to brainstorm about it, we'd love to connect with you.
Awesome. And I know that you guys are going to be coming on the podcast in about a month, or because y'all are coming up on 5 years.
I know.
5-year anniversary. So we're going to learn more about Building Beloved Communities then, and how you can support in the event that they're going to be putting on for that. And, we're always glad. They've been a sponsor and partner of ours for the last 2 years. They've worked with us. Shannon has done a fabulous job for our organization, working on things as well. So I can attest to, Shannon, the team at Building Beloved Communities, and all that they do for our businesses and nonprofits in our area. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Heather.
Yeah.
Thanks, Woody.
All right. So we have, I believe, one more person we're going to be speaking with, as far as two more people. Sorry, somebody was hiding over there. I didn't see him. But it's been a really good day. Lots of great nonprofits that we've been speaking to and learning more about in our community, and all do sort of different things here. We haven't too much overlap.
Who would have thought? Right? And a lot of these nonprofits that you're talking about, some are new, but some have been around for 50, 40. Come on now.
Right.
That's fantastic.
They have. They're long-standing nonprofits. And so we're going to talk really quickly with Ron.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
So Ron is with Shop Click Give, and he is another one of our members that we are partnering with, because I feel like we're about to bring something really, really cool to our area. And can I say cool? Awesome? Cool.
You can describe me any way you
I'm
want to.
I'm going to describe you however. Yeah. So, we're excited to partner with Ron moving into next month, and then hopefully pushing forward into 2024 on ways to help nonprofits fundraise to get money and work with our local businesses to give back to nonprofits in sort of a way that's like Amazon Smiles, right?
Absolutely. Two things I tell people the difference between us and Amazon Smiles is, first of all, we're still in business.
There we go.
And the second is we're about local businesses. And this is why I cannot begin to tell you the excitement of being able to work with CVABC.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I was on your podcast when we were up at CBCC, that's the day I first mentioned to one of you people, hey, maybe we could partner together. Mm-hmm. And lots happened, and we've created what we want to be Lynchburg Giving Portable, which is CVABCgives.org.
Yep.
That is a place that nonprofits can go to sign up, and that's where businesses can go to get a free merchant account. And so people will shop locally online through CVABCgives.org, and then a percentage of their sale will go to wherever the purchaser wants to go. Now, we and really thanks to the urging of CVABC, we've got a couple new videos on. They're cartoon explainer videos, and if you're a business, you can go to CVABCgives.org. If you're a nonprofit, you can go to CVABCgives.org and see the videos that kind of explain everything we're doing. And if you're a business and you want some exposure that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. In fact, if the only expenses if someone makes a purchase, you agree to give a percentage of the sale. CVABCgives.org, and if you're a nonprofit, you want to receive this. CVABCgives.org, and we are. There's nothing you can say, Heather, that would come close to the appreciation that I have for CVABC. The premier, it's a premier. If you own a business and you're not in member of CVABC, it's like, well, are you serious about your business?
Even a business. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm sorry. It's like if you, and this is why we're glad to partner with, because if you're serious about your business, I have a friend. He's like, I've owned 4 companies. Not really, just hobbies you did. Or if you're serious about your business, and I don't care what it is, if you own a business in Lynchburg and Roanoke, you need to join CVABC.org, and I get nothing for that.
No, I didn't pay him.
I wish you would, but no. I
wish you would.
I get nothing from that, but I'm just saying. And if you have a nonprofit, it has become harder in the last 4 years to get your donations, and I've been hearing that with all the nonprofits here. And this is simply something to get a donation from people who are going to buy something anyway. People are going to go out to eat. People are going to buy coffee. People are going to buy these things that they're going to buy anyway. Why not let you get you as a nonprofit get 5 to 10%? If you're going to go to Mission House Coffee, great, but buy your gift certificate through Shop Click Give, and that way they've agreed to give 10% of the total sale to the nonprofit of your choice.
Right.
So Heather, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
And let's talk about it again. It is free for the nonprofit to sign up.
Absolutely.
Nothing to do but sign up.
Right.
Then
right.
It's zero, zilch, nothing but let the dollars come in when people start buying.
Right. There's no startup cost. There's no monthly cost. The only thing is you agree to give. Of course, there's credit card processing.
Right.
But there's nothing to give until. Nothing to pay until someone makes a purchase, and that's your donation.
Right.
And an advantage is once you join, you go through your and there's tutorials online. There's links from CVABCgives.org, and I'm not sure if I've said that website enough. CVABC Gives.
You started sounding like Mike Norfield on this podcast. For you to know him, he says CVABC.org a million times, but this is CVABCgives.org.
But you sign up with Stripe Bank, and if you already have a Stripe account, you just connect them, and that way, when somebody, like for instance, when you buy coffee. As a business owner, your concern is cash flow. That is your concern. That's king, is cash.
Yep.
And if you sell something on a major sell, like say Amazon, it can be 90 days or more after you ship the product. You get paid. That can run you out of business. Mm-hmm. This, when someone buys coffee from Mission House Coffee, and they click enter because they purchased it. Instantly, Tommy gets the money. Right now, he gets the money. He's going to get that. That is the world. I mean, you can't have something better than that, And the good thing is, marketing for. I got to touch on this. I know we've got some exciting stuff to talk here about butter and raisins and. But if you're in business, you as a business owner, people have said, well, I've just bought an ad for $1,000. I hope I get my $1,000 back.
Right, return on investment.
100% marketing costs. You're okay with 100% marketing costs? Now, what if I as TV, and I understand why they have a limited budget, limited inventory, they can't do this. But if I owned a radio station or a TV station, I said, I tell you what, I am going to give you unlimited advertising. Mm-hmm. And you only pay me when you make a sale. Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't sign up for that?
Right.
People have been excited because they bought a $1,000 ad and made $3,000 in sales. That is still 33%. That's still high, and you don't know. You may end up spending $1,000 and you sell $500. It's cost you 200%. Advertising budget. Mm-hmm. No company could last more than 30 seconds with that. But with this, you get to know before the month starts what your advertising budget is. You know before the months what your advertising budget is going to be. That is knowledge is power. Knowledge is money. That is money in your pocket.
Awesome. Well, so we want you to check out cvabcgives.org.
Yep.
Check out the videos. Like
Yep.
Ron said, we've created some videos that kind of show you how easy this process is. October, we, as the Central Virginia Business Coalition, we're a nonprofit organization. We are going to be the nonprofit sort of the month of October, really to kind of showcase how this works.
Yep.
Let these nonprofits see like this is a legitimate
Yep.
way to bring some of that, some dollars in. Whether it's, I mean, I don't know about you, but even if you bring in $100, $200, who's going to scoff at that? I mean, it's money coming in the door. So
absolutely,
yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I do it so well. Somebody here was talking about how they give $25,000. They're wanting to give $25,000 to a handful of. Let's say they're giving it to 5. That means their nonprofits are giving it $5,000. That's $400 a month. If a nonprofit can get excited about $400 a month of revenue, there's that much of there's 10 times that amount of coffee bought. I'm just saying the expectation is low. Like you said, a couple $100, it's great, and if we can do 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, I mean, when people really realize that they can give to a nonprofit when they're just going to buy it anyway, it just so I yield to what you said about it doesn't have to be a lot, but
right.
October I need businesses to sign up, restaurants, to sign. There is on cvabcgives.org a donation projection on if you've got 100 supporters, 200 supporters, 500 supporters, how much donation people can get just by buying, coffee and going to the restaurant. That's
right.
not one meal a month, with your family, which now $100 probably seem like a deal, but how much you can get from 100, and it is really astronomical.
Yeah.
So cvabcgives.org and sign up as either nonprofit or business, but definitely businesses in this month. We want to do a lot back. We want to do a lot for CVABC because of what they do for the community. So I'm hoping we can give you such an awesome check this month.
Awesome, me too.
That is my goal.
I'm here for it.
That's my goal.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ron.
Thank you very much.
Again, check out cvabcgives.org.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, so we have our last nonprofit of the day. Woo! So
right.
Yeah, we're going to be talking with Joshua. So Joshua, tell us about your business and how we can support you in all that you're doing.
Great.
And raisins, apparently.
Yeah. Ron is so funny. All right. It's a wonderful time to be part of CVABC. I run a nonprofit, and basically, what we do is to find a need in the community that probably is not being met, and then we partner with other nonprofits to meet it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and so you can have needs like homelessness, get in touch with maybe homeless apartments to take the homeless people, feeding the homeless, helping the low income, and then doing information and education on cybersecurity because now people need a lot of information on that, and and basically just finding the need in the community and then partner with nonprofits.
Like filling in the gaps.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so we have this slogan now it's called "Love Your Neighbor as Yourself," because if we have that in mind, then you'll be able to really reach out and do more. And so so we're doing that globally now here in Lynchburg. We're doing that here in Lynchburg, and then the heart of Virginia, and then also in my home country Ghana. So we do both of these there, and so we like to get donations, to be able to keep going forward. And we all know how how it is to get donations, and so I went back to my mother country and got some raw shea butter, and I added extra virgin olive oil and then frankincense, made into a product, and then packaged it here in the States. And so I sell that to raise funds. And I'm not saying don't bring donations, but it helps.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but if I think a lot of people, if they can purchase something tangible, that they know they can give back because they actually have it and they're working with it versus, I think some people are more reluctant just to give money because they're never quite sure where that money's going. But, if they feel like they're getting something for that money. So I love the fact that you've come up with something, and especially that it's coming from your home country that you're bringing back over here that obviously you have a passion for.
Right.
And you're being, able to put those two things together and then take it and support local communities and local business, local nonprofits. I think that's, really awesome.
Yeah, and so about the raisin thing, this is where it's coming
I'd
from.
like to learn about the raisin.
Well, this is where it's coming from. So, the raw shea butter has extra virgin olive oil and frankincense. Well, frankincense, most people didn't know it's a raisin.
Oh. Okay.
Oh shit! You didn't know that?
I
right?
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wait, frankincense is a raisin?
Yeah, it is. It's a
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tree.
So they brought
the
myrrh
sap-
and raisins.
Yeah, right. So they're both raisins. Actually, so he found out that out, Ron, and that's his thing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Butter and raisin.
I did not know
Right.
that. I did not know that.
Yeah, and you can turn it into powder or make it into oil, but it's a tree. So the frankincense is a tree. So the sap it turns into raisin. It hardens and turns into a raisin. And
Okay.
Right, and you can do so much with it. And the same with the myrrh too. Myrrh is also a raisin. They're both actually raisins.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea.
Me
Yeah.
either.
So
Learn
that's
something new every day.
that's where that's coming from. Yeah.
Awesome.
And and so I'm able to also do this because I'm also a web developer and a cybersecurity analyst. So we're able to put all these things. Yeah. And so I'm getting ready to partner with some other nonprofits to actually do a homeless feed the homeless. I think by Thanksgiving.
Okay. Wonderful.
And so hopefully we can get donations as I also sell the product. And I want to let everybody know that the uses of the product is tremendous. We have over 50 uses of it, and you can go on ah3b.org and you can find out more. But let me give you a little bit more on the uses. So there's over 50 uses, and you can break them into 5 categories. It's like the body butter for your body, anything with your body. If you want to be, like anti-aging, you have tattoos and you want them to shine, like it works for that. Moisturizer, dry skin, because it's about to get cold, the skin gets dry, and that heals that, and it also has healing properties for like for my culture. They use it for healing eczema, skin issues. Some of the people have been using it for skin cancer, and it goes away. And then you also have it's very good. It prevents diaper rash for babies.
Right.
And even when they do get diaper rash, it can heal it and soothe it too. And there's more uses too. And so I'm glad to actually bring this product, just like you said, that it helps people whilst you also give. So it's something tangible.
So what's the best way for someone to contact you if they're interested in purchasing your product or learning more about AH3B?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can call. So should I put my number?
You can, yeah, if you want. That's up to you.
So the number is 434
Uh-huh.
291
Okay.
3822.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can visit ah3b.org.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Joshua, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it.
All right.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into our special live broadcast.
That was fun.
Of our community giving fair. So many wonderful nonprofits that I hope you guys learned something from, or may even look at who you want to support. This year coming up. Thanksgiving and Christmas are always a time that you really see a need out there for people. And so hopefully maybe you've heard someone that you want to kind of help out.
That's right.
So thank you, Woody.
Yes,
Thank you
thanks
very
for having me.
much.
Yep.
So if you have tuned in today, make sure you tune back in on Wednesday for Talk Local to Me on grovestreet.fm. And if you are just listening to this, make sure, and you haven't liked and subscribed to Talk Local to Me, make sure that you're doing that. Post a review, and we will be back with you Wednesday.